How to launch an instance with network in OpenStack Liberty. So first we need to create a network. So let me create a network. So in this demo project already has one private network. I am going to create one more network, one more private network, private 2, and subnet. Okay, create. Okay, private network is ready. It's active, so you can see it has one port for DHCP. So DHCP server is running in this. For this network, DHCP server is running here in 11.0.0.2. Then let me go to instance, and I am going to launch an instance in that private network 2. Instance name, flavor, count, then here select boot from image and select image zeros, then select default security group, so key pair, select the key pair, then go to networking. Here we need to select the network where we need to launch the instance. So I am going to select this private network 2. Okay, this is enough. Then click on launch. Okay, VM is ready, it's running. So it's got this IP 11.0.0.3, and let me go to the network. And select private network 2. So there you can see it got one more port that has this IP 11.0.0.3. so attached device is Compute Nova. So this port is attached to the instance which I created. Now I am going to show how to assign floating IP to this VM. So for that, first we need to create a floating IP. So that step I am going to show via CLI. So we can do neutron floating IP list. So there is no floating IP, so first we need to create it. So this is the public network. So from that public network I am allocated one floating IP. Now if you do floating IP list, you can see it. Similarly in Nova also you can see that this is floating IP command. I think float. See. Or the same command also you can see in Neutron. See. So you have one more option. You can use OpenStack CLI. See, that means we have three options. You can use Nova command or Neutron command or OpenStack client. So I am going to use, so I created a floating IP. So let me try this OpenStack CLI. OpenStack IP floating list. So to associate, I am going to use this command, Nova command, Neutron command, or Nova, which one? So I will use floating IP associate. Okay. So Nova floating IP associate. Oh, before that, let me do Nova list. So just want to display it. Okay, then Nova floating IP associate. So there we need to provide server and floating IP. Server ID is this one. Then this is the floating IP. So let me give this IP here. So it's telling external network is not reachable from the subnet, therefore cannot associate port with the floating IP this thing. So that is because, so if you go and check network topology, this is a private network which I created, and this is a VM which belongs to this private network, and this is the public network. So there is no connection between these two. Okay, so we need to make it. So we can do it like this: create a router, router 2, select external network public to create. Now if you check the network topology, you can see that I added this router here to this public network. The router 2 which I created. Now I need a connection between this router 2 and private 2. So that I can do here in router. Go to routers. Then click on router 2. Then click on interfaces. So this interface is connected to public network. So add one more interface. Here select the subnet, this one. This is optional, okay. Then add interface. Now you can see this interface is connected to network private 2. So now if you check the topology, see, so this network private and this network private 2 both are connected to this public network via router. Okay, now this VM, this is our VM. In this VM we can assign public IP from this public network. Now it's possible. You can do it. You can try this command again. See, it's work. So if you do Nova list, you can see it's got the floating IP, this floating IP. Or let me deassociate. Floating IP, sorry, associate and disassociate. Now our floating IP disassociate, then server ID, and we have to give the address also, IP address. So now I am disassociating the floating IP 172.24.4.5 from the VM. Okay, now I will show you how we can associate floating IP through CLI, through dashboard. So here in this VM, here we can select associate floating IP and select the floating IP, Now here you can see the VM name and its IP. So this drop box or drop down will be empty if there is if there is no connection between your private network and the public network. Okay, so we need to make a connection between your public and private network using a router. Then only we can see the data in use drop down. Okay, see right now there is no public IP, so select this associate floating IP and select the floating IP, then do associate. Okay, now you can see floating IP here. So let me associate one more floating IP to this VM. Go to access and security. So here we can allocate an IP address, floating IP from public network to this demo project. So select the public network and allocate IP. Now this IP is allocated to this demo project. So it's not attached to any VM. So I am going to attach to this same VM. So go to instances. Actually, we don't need to go to instances. From here itself we can do. Go to access and security. Can do it here. Here we can do, click on associate, then select the VM and associate. Now this VM will get two floating IPs. No, it will not get, it will not allow. The requested instance port is already associated with another floating IP. So we can associate only one floating IP to a port. Okay. So if you want, you can do one more thing. We can add an interface, add another interface to the VM from private to network. Right now this VM has only one interface, that has this 11.0.0.3 IP. So I am going to attach one more interface to the VM. Yeah. So this is a new interface which I attach to the VM. So in that interface, this private interface has this floating IP attached. So this second interface I am going to attach another floating IP. So that I can do from here. I think here it's not showing that option. Here click on associate. Here I think I can select for the second interface of the VM. See, now if you check instance, let me try instance list here also. So here you can see this VM has two interfaces, and in that two interfaces I attached two public IPs. You can see that here also, two private IP and to public IP. Okay, so this way you can create a instance in a private network, and you can assign floating IP from your public network.